quick. So we've just finished the game. I've forgotten the name of the box. Typhon, Kill Team Typhon. So it's, I forget which number these are, so we'll just go straight into it. So, what did you think of the box? First of all, the two teams, we've got the Battleclade, Admech Servitors, and the Ravener team. I was playing Raveners and they were very lovely, but how do you feel about the Battleclade Servitors?
You know what? I grew into them. I think at the start of the battle I was thinking, oh God, these are going to die badly. And it started that way.
It did start that way.
3 deaths almost instantaneously.
Yeah.
But the counteract, if we played it correctly, but I've read it 4 or 5 times and I think we did.
Yeah, I think so.
Seems very strong. Being able to double shoot with the big heavy guns, being able to bot points or plant beacons, for example, out of sequence.
Yeah,
definitely gives you something a bit different.
Yeah, it's interesting, obviously, because they do hit on 4s, which just feel a bit rough. But the fact that you can force an Overwatch,
yes,
it's pretty nice, pretty tasty, a little bit of extra, and it doesn't seem to be super limited apart from. It costs them an APL, but that thing at the beginning you did gave you a bunch of free ones.
Getting that faction equipment, the reserve cells, and getting the 3 on the D3 meant 3 freebies, which was very nice. It was. I thought they were quite tricksy. I think the leader was very good. I liked his movement shenanigans, each strategic gambit being able to either call out one of your guys with his Auspex, which gave Ceaseless, which that was really nice.
Yeah.
Or just being able to, move around the board. I mean, he killed and bopped 2 plant beacons and a point, so, he felt very strong. Yeah.
I felt like he was doing some work.
I did like them. I did think they actually hit a lot harder than they looked.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, especially that arc rifle, the heavy arc rifle. That
4, 6, 5 attacks. Like
that was, as you said, that was the Nid killer.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it makes sense. There is some operatives now that are big space marines. You need to be taken off a chunk of wounds, and that is a hell of a way to do it.
Yeah. What were your thoughts playing into them? I think they've got some nice ploys as well.
You know what? Like they're a little bit. Their break point's quite decent. Obviously, my team's built to kill you. It feels like because my minimum damage on 2 hits is 8, which is yours. But you do have damage reduction possibility to make that less easy for me. I got lucky on the initial charge to get some decent combat coming my way, but you positioned well enough that you were staying out. I think you played it how it should be played, and maybe it was just the new team syndrome we had. But I think staying out of charge range and making sure you're measuring those charge ranges is kind of like the same with Gauze, because they are the same charge range potentially, maybe a little bit less actually on Gauze, because they get the extra inch. But playing it that way and then hitting me with the double shoot on some of the heavy guns was really, I think that's a way. I mean, you were unlucky to only have 2 kills. I think you probably should have had 3. So you probably should have had 3, and it wouldn't have changed it overall, but it would have been.
Yeah, I think in the last turn I probably could have played a little bit different, got an extra kill or 2, and that might have pulled it back in. But I thought I need to get points because. They were the primary was just impossible for me to get to. The slow speed, and if I'd have went for that middle objective, you were just going to slice me up.
I wish I'd gone for... So I picked my primary up thinking I was going to play them very killy, and then immediately took implant, which meant I couldn't play it totally killy, so I was like, ooh, maybe this is a mistake. And then I decided to pivot to the crit when I realised I was quite well situated to take the crit.
Yeah, definitely.
So I just played the crit, which is maybe a little bit more defensive than they normally would be played, but with 5 operatives, I don't know. It's an interesting mechanic having more than half of your team off the board at the start of the game.
I mean, that felt really weird because there was just not a lot for me to do, but the threat of you popping up anywhere really keeps you honest, even though there's not many people on the board at that time.
I was going to say, it's a decent one. I mean, I did cheat you with the Venom Spitter. I'll have to double check either the battle report won't show it or will show it, made no difference. But I shouldn't have done the distend dorsal stack. I thought that was just a profile.
Learning new teams. Just I played equipment and missed the last line. I did a Connor Meacham on it.
You did the Meach.
Yes,
classic
and
Meach.
didn't read the last bit of the line and used it against you. So yeah, but you know what? Overall, I thought very cool teams, and I think G-Dubs have kind of hit it out of the park again. I mean, I love the Goremongers from the last box set, and Sanctifiers I think are great. I know a lot of people don't like them.
I think,
but I feel these are different again.
Yeah,
I feel really good. And
I was surprised how much I liked the servitors when I started painting them up, actually. Because when I got the box, I was like, just no interest in the AdMech. And I like the Nids. I thought Nids is going to be my team. And then I started painting up the AdMech. I actually quite enjoy it. I still don't like the weird roby tentacle ghost guys. But I just don't like those type of AdMech. I prefer the more rangery types, like the servitors. I prefer that to that guy, the ghost guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I'm not a massive fan of the model, but the rest of them I love.
That once you start mastering them, and it was our first game, I thought some of their ploys, like the covert guys, where they're basically
4-inch.
No, when they're in cover. If they haven't shot or done an action, you can swap the servitors around.
Oh yeah. You didn't really use that much.
I didn't read it properly, so I'd use the medic and the spotter and the breacher early and use their abilities. But if not, you could have really swapped them around to where you needed them. I thought that would have been good. But the pre-game dash, I mean, moved up both my heavy guns into good positions, so that felt nice as well. So even though they're a 5-inch team, they didn't feel slow.
Yeah, that's the interesting one. I always worry about the 5-inch movement teams, that it will feel slow. But like you said, taking that equipment to get D3 dashings at the beginning.
I'm not sure the TAC-op, taking plant beacons meant I had to come out, but they don't have security.
And you didn't fancy recon, confirm kill.
Well, if I'd have took it, I would have got one less than what I got anyway, because I only killed 2.
You would have been focused more on shooting.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe using the extra actions. But I thought their numeric, what's it called? The Noospheric network.
Yeah, Noospheric
network. Allowed me to bot points when I needed to.
Yeah.
Whereas it didn't give me the movement, but maybe it would have been better to shoot more and kill more. But yeah, I think they're both interesting. Tell me about your team then, Russ, because they're scary as hell.
You know what? They feel, when you look at the stats, they feel almost, it feels odd, but their melee almost feels a little bit lacking when you first look at it, because you're like, they don't really have a lot of melee rules, like special weapon rules.
You know what? Coming back from Goremongers, who can go up to 5 attacks,
it's nuts.
4-5 rending, hitting on 3s.
It's that rending that you get.
You've got
they don't
basically the same.
I was going to say it was.
They didn't feel as scary as I thought they were going to, but the wounds, the burrow. Just being able to go back into burrow is mad.
I love that as like a little... I mean, it feels weird doing it. And obviously, if you stay in burrow at the end of the game, you're just dead.
Yeah.
So I did almost fall for that trap. It's such a weird technique. I think there'll be nuance to place in the tunnel. I just went route 1, basically down the road. But I can see an idea of basically having a tunnel on one flank and then having your 2 active operatives take the other flank.
See, I wonder whether you could do the zigzag attack. So going from one flank in and out.
Yeah.
And having the ability to kind of come out wherever you want. I mean, it didn't really work on this one line because you didn't need to come back here. But if you had a V where you were covering 2 objectives.
1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. I could have, because then I can burrow up, take the objective.
Yeah, and I think you missed a couple of tricks with being able to burrow back down in a counteract and stuff. You can make them a lot safer.
You can't burrow for free if you don't do a mission action and your counter action. So you can pop up, shoot, and then be up, shoot, and then pop down.
Yeah.
But I think they've got some. I mean, a real fun team.
They are fun, and everyone's going to love them.
I think they're going to be a massive.
I wonder how they're going to face against like the big boys, like
Angels of Death seem to be a good test for most teams at the moment.
Yeah,
Double shoot with a 5-up save. Might be quite rough. You can be in cover if you're on your tunnel, but that involves you hiding on your tunnel basically.
Yeah. They didn't feel as scary in combat as you said.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I wonder
like,
how they would do against
5 attacks hitting on 3s. I think a jeweler, Angel of Death, would still
parry them out.
I think they would parry him out.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a couple that are decent in combat that have got like lethal 5, shock, poison, and then the crush. But the normal guys are just 5 attacks hitting on 3s, 4, 5. Maybe
it's
one
interesting the mix of the rules at the minute. You seem like everybody's getting a little bit of something. Like the servitors getting damage reduction, but then your poison just wasn't as good as other teams.
It wasn't. It wasn't
coming through on a crit.
Yeah, you've got to hit damage on a crit to get it versus
just doing damage.
Like the Plague Marines were doing.
So yeah, I don't think they didn't feel overpowered. I say as there's 3 of them alive on the board.
Yeah,
and there was quite a big victory in the end. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they play.
Yeah, I think good team. I think everyone will play them just because they're awesome models.
Yes.
And everyone wants a Nid team, and it's been so long. But yeah.
Good game.
Yeah, good game, man. It was a fun one.
Look forward to the next game.
Yeah.